Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have some coins to crack out and get resubmitted. This is some of the stuff that you guys enjoy the most. I actually have a number of V-nickels. I have a couple of dollars and actually a stray cent. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know if you haven't already, please subscribe and like. And if you want to, if you're enjoying these type of videos, please consider joining one of our memberships to help support this type of stuff. If you feel like you're learning something, go ahead and consider that. So on to the video here. Some of you are very familiar with the fact that I sent a bunch of V-nickels in to get graded, and it was like these were my results, right? Like 62, 62, 62, 62, right? So there's that, right? So one of the most outrageous grading results I've ever seen and ever had for myself. And so here we go with this 1908. And I decided to, of course, I sold some of those coins to y'all. And then I decided to take some of them and just go ahead and resubmit them because of the, injustice that was getting nothing but 62s on coins that were fairly nice. I mean, a lot of them were nice V-nickels, which you don't see often. And generally speaking, for the ones that are the more common dates, the newer ones, they are overall a pretty affordable series to put together, like the 1900s V-nickels. Oftentimes in something like a 62 grade, you expect coins that are really not all that attractive. And I thought that overall, these coins were still pretty attractive. Nice luster, nice look. They didn't have all the scuffs on them that you see on a lot of V-nickels. Just attractive coins overall. So this coin came back at MS63, and it was an MS62. This is not all about the value jump on this series. I'm putting these together to show you guys, and we can learn together and talk about what's going on in the coin grading market. And overall, not a bad grade. I still think this coin is beyond average. It is not just a 63 for the overall quality of the contact marks on the surface. You can start to argue, of course, especially on copper and nickel, that when you start getting little spots and flecks and stuff, okay, well, you got to be careful how you grade it if you're NGC or PCGS, because spots and flecks over time can move. This goes from probably about a $100 coin to $140, $150 coin, something like that in the marketplace. So next up we have 1904, which of course, as we all recall, was also graded MS62. And you guys can look at the surface quality of this coin, and you can see it doesn't have the same spots on it that the other coin does. I also think that the 08 has more eye appeal, though, despite the spots. It does not have, distracting marks, and I think it has pretty superior luster for a V-nickel overall. Nickels can come pretty flat and pretty boring and pretty rough. So this 1904, they called an MS64. So there we go. This is not the first time I've had a 2-point adjustment going from NGC to PCGS. Some of you may recall a certain outlandish set of coins that came back, including an Oregon Trail and some Buffalo nickels. And this coin overall does make a big jump. I mean, because it's whatever, a $90 coin to a $200 coin from the 62 to the 64. So that is, so both of those are nice adjustments upward overall. Now we have one more 62 here to consider, and then we got a couple interesting coins to look at beyond that. So 1906, this was the last of the Mohicans here, the ones that I really liked, the coins that I thought, okay, I'm going to grab these three. These were my three favorite that all came back 62s, and I thought all these coins are nicer than a 2. I think each one of these coins on its own merit are at least a 3, if not a 4. And you can tell me which one you like the best, because I happen to I think the 4 was amongst my least favorite. I really like the 6. Now let me show you something interesting here. Okay, so we got cleaned unk detail. So actually this gets knocked down a grade, right? So this is something that has been kind of a reoccurring theme lately on coins that look really nice, but they're calling cleaned. And once again, on this coin, what you'll see is, and I'll get it at the right angle, you see there's some really faint lines on the neckline that go from run, what am I trying to say here? Run all the way across the neck. There's also a few small lines in the field. Right, and I'm just gonna see if I can eyeball it any better here with the 20. Pretty hard to see. Give me a second, sorry about that. Let's get closer. And it's hard on the 20 because I got to get really close. There you go. Got those in the field. You have some more small lines like that on the neckline. So once again, if we get into grading theory, you start to get to the question of what is cleaned, what is not cleaned, what constitutes just a downgrade. And once again, can we maybe mention that on these holders, right? So instead of taking a coin that looks like a gem coin and downgrading it to a 62, maybe it should be a 62. Maybe it's a 62 and it just says Hairlines at 9, I don't know how a clock works. I only do digital. Hairlines at 4 o'clock, right? Something like that. It's something that indicates what we're looking at overall. So it's a theoretical thing. I'm not going to dive too much more into. You guys can think about it a little bit, but I've been thinking about it a lot just because I've had a lot of little coins come back 1 or 2 grades lower, or with these little cleaned labels on coins that I don't think qualify as cleaned. You can mention the hairline. I get it. It's there. It's a part of the overall quality of the coin. So next up on my coin Crackout scavenger hunt, right? So one of the things that I have a goal of is getting something like this, like a 43s penny, to go from a 66 to a 67. It's kind of fun for me. I think I'm just making I'm making a list. I'm checking it twice. Coins that have been naughty nice, coins that I want to see upgraded in really high grade, and it's just kind of a little challenge that I've set for myself. And I'll take suggestions on stuff like that, things that you think I should try to do just as a scavenger hunt. So this penny I thought was pretty phenomenal, and I've had some, we've had quite a few Lincoln pennies lately. We had an entire batch we sent in to NGC on their bulk submission rate. I'm sorry, I'm speechless here because this coin is just blowing my mind. So this one was in that group originally, and it was one of the nicest coins that I had seen. And so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to try to get this into a 7 holder. So it came back as 66, which is, it's all right. I mean, we're doing this for the challenge to try to get an upgrade on something like that. It's not the type of thing that I can expect, you can expect, or we can expect to do. But as you can see just from some of the other things, at times we do get some upgrades, and at times we get upgrades of multiple points. All right, next up I have this 85O MS63. Now this coin, let me just say, was something that right away, as soon as I saw it, I thought it was pretty phenomenal. So when you look at coins, sometimes you have, what I call the look. They just look a certain grade. Now this is especially true for uncirculated coins, whereas your circulated coins, you're going to go off of a lot of technical metrics based on, what type of wear there is on the coin and how much detail is left. When it comes to uncirculated coins and you're trying to delineate between that 60, 63, 64, 65, the look. Sometimes you just look at a coin and it has the look and you're like, okay, well, this coin is definitely nicer than just a 63. Now, as we were looking at with that V-nickel that has some small hairlines, of course, that can get you in trouble when you just go on the look. And I know it's not solely based on eye appeal and luster, but you got to look at a lot of the contact marks and whatnot. But this coin I thought was really phenomenal. Now, it wouldn't be the first time, especially when I'm doing beast dollars, where I take a coin that I think is just phenomenal. Well, look at that grade, 65. what was that? Let me remind myself. Oh, that's right, 63. So there's a 2-point jump on a coin that I think the graders were, you know, fatigued when they graded or something like that. One of the things, though, that, you know, I'm not going to take the, you know, defend the guys that graded at a 63 because clearly the coin is nicer than that. You know, they're probably looking at a little bit of the contact marks on the cheek. But, you know, when you're grading, it's the overall coin. It's not just one contact, not just one mark, which is why when I talk about, you know, getting a coin into a holder like this that says UNC, you know what, and then it says details, what's the overall eye appeal on the coin, right? Like, what are we really looking at here? And what are the demerits? What are the problems? Well, it has those little scratches on it. Okay, so then it's not a gem coin, right? So maybe you put up a barricade that says, hey, if you have scratches, it can't be a 65. It's got to be, you know, a 60, 64 or lower. You know, maybe that's the standard that we need to have. So overall, that was a winner. Oh, I got one last coin to show you guys, which is one more Morgan and 1890 O in 62. Now this is a fascinating coin. Oh, I guess I should mention, because you guys always tell me to mention, you know, common date Morgans. This is a 63 is like a $50 to $75 coin. The market's all over the place right now as this is being filmed. You know, this coin's probably a couple $100 now. So that was actually, I didn't mention the pricing on some of that stuff. Sorry about that. So this 1890 from the New Orleans Mint, NGC called this a 62. And, you know, right away when I looked at it, I thought, well, it's got a lot of scuffiness going on. So got a black eye, and you got a lot of contact marks there on the cheek. And of course, there are a lot of contact marks in the field. And, you know, you see that especially because these fields are what you and I, my good friends, would call proof-like. Of course, you've seen coins that I've sent in on crackouts or crossovers that were proof-like, and they came back, you know, not proof-like. So this has those really cool roller lines over there where the planchet got rolled out, and it leaves these impressions. And that's what those are. Those lines are not cleaning. They're not even really an error or an embedded something. They're roller marks. So, you know, overall, it's a really lovely coin. Let's back out a little bit because you got to be able to see the proof-likeness of this coin. And, you know, you may recall pretty recently, or I don't know what order the videos come out in, man, but about the same time this is being recorded, I had another coin come back that I was trying to just get a PL on, and I did not. This came back 63 PL. So we went from a 2 to a 3 PL. And you know that the coin roughly doubles in price from maybe about $100 to 200, something like that, more or less, from this holder to that one. You know, going from a 2 to a 3 PL. And originally, like I was saying, my goal here wasn't necessarily to go from a 2 to a 3, but that's fine. I mean, once again, to me, a 2 is going to be something that's really a below average coin. If this had those scattered marks that are in the field, if they were all over the cheek and they were heavy, you know, I could see calling that coin a 62, but, you know, a 3 is a nice grade for the coin. Let me see, is this in here crooked, or does it have a rotated die? It's hard to tell because it's crooked. We turn it, and we try to turn it the same. I think it's just in the holder crooked. It's not a rotated die, right? Yeah, okay. So no worries. Sometimes they get a little crooked. I'm not going to complain about that. So, all right, guys. So we had quite the Crackout challenge here. And, you know, the elves, the grading elves were in my favor today. I got to go bribe those guys again. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben, the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.